Hello and welcome. Let's jump right in, because today we're looking at a pretty wild idea, one that seems almost backward at first. What if the real key to measuring our most human qualities, our soft skills, doesn't come from psychology, but from artificial intelligence?
Really think about that for a second. We all know how important these skills are, but how do you put a number on teamwork or give a grade for critical thinking? It feels kind of impossible, right? It's just so subjective, so messy, and it's a huge headache for literally everyone, from schools to big companies.
And here's the crazy twist. It turns out that in our big race to build smarter, more capable AI, we might have stumbled upon the perfect tools to understand and measure ourselves.
Okay, so first, let's really break down the problem here. We're calling it the soft skills paradox.
It's no surprise to anyone that these days your success isn't just about what you know, it's about how you use what you know. Skills like good communication, being able to collaborate, adapting on the fly, these are what employers are screaming for.
But here's where the paradox kicks in. The more important these skills become, the harder they are to measure in any objective way. It really is like trying to measure water with a ruler. The tools are just all wrong for the job. So what are we left with? Gut feelings and personal opinions.
And that brings us to this really surprising solution, coming from a place you'd probably never expect. Yep, artificial intelligence.
For years now, we've been trying to make AI more human. We don't just want it to crunch numbers. We want it to get context, to reason, to interact with us. And to figure out if we were getting anywhere, we had to get really, really good at measuring those exact abilities.
And look, these are not your grandpa's computer tests. The benchmarks we use for AI today go way beyond just checking if a machine can fool a person. No, they focus on these really nuanced human skills. Can an AI adapt when things change? Can it understand cause and effect? Can it learn as it goes? Can it handle a social situation? Sound familiar?
And this is that aha moment. This is where it all clicks. What AI developers call social intelligence in a machine, well, that's pretty much what we call communication and teamwork in a person. The exact frameworks we built to see if a machine could understand social cues could be used for us. This was the big breakthrough.
So how does this actually work in practice? Let's dig into the nitty-gritty of how we can map these frameworks from a machine over to the human mind.
It all works because of this really clever mapping. So for example, we can take the AI benchmark for causal reasoning and use it as a basis to test a person's critical thinking by giving them a tough problem to solve. Or we can use a test for an AI's social intelligence to measure a person's emotional intelligence by analyzing how they interact, maybe even in a VR setting. An AI's adaptability test? That's the perfect model for measuring a person's flexibility when things get unpredictable.
Okay, this all sounds amazing in theory, right? But does it actually hold up in the real world? Let's take a look at one of these assessments in action and check out the results.
So here's a perfect example. This is a 5-step model for assessing critical thinking, and it's pulled directly from how we test an AI's ability to reason. You give someone a complex problem, and then you evaluate them on how they move through these 5 logical stages. Can they actually figure out what the real problem is? Do they gather the right info? Can they come up with creative solutions? Can they weigh the good and the bad? And finally, can they make a call and stand behind it?
So how accurate is this method? Well, get this. One major study found that these AI-driven models can achieve 85% of the accuracy of a trained human evaluator. 85%! But here's the kicker. It does it with perfect consistency. Every single time, and in just a fraction of the time. That's a game changer.
And the results aren't just about assessment. When these ideas were actually put to the test, the numbers were pretty stunning. At Coventry University, students saw a 40% improvement in their communication skills. A study out of Oxford showed a 25% jump in adaptability, and other research found that the accuracy of these assessments was 30% better than the old-school methods.
So where is all this headed? What does it all mean? Well, this is about way more than just getting a better grade on a report card. It's about forging a whole new path for learning and for you. Just imagine getting real, specific, objective feedback on something like your leadership ability or your creative thinking, and then getting a plan customized just for you to help you get better. Using these tools could mean we finally move past that one-size-fits-all approach to education and start building learning plans that are actually tailored to each person's unique profile. Now, of course, with all this power comes some pretty serious responsibilities. We absolutely have to deal with the big ethical questions head-on. That means protecting people's data, for sure. It means hunting down and eliminating any bias in the algorithms to make sure they're fair. And it means making sure this technology helps close the digital divide, not make it wider.
And let's just be crystal clear on this, because it's maybe the most important takeaway. This technology is not about replacing teachers, or coaches, or managers. It's about giving them superpowered tools. The goal here is to augment human judgment, to back it up with objective data, so that people can spend more time doing what they do best: mentoring, inspiring, and connecting with other human beings.
So we're left with this one last really big thought. It's pretty provocative. In our whole journey trying to create smarter and smarter machines, we might have accidentally stumbled on the blueprint for making ourselves better, for unlocking all that human potential inside us. You have to wonder, could the quest to build better machines actually be the key to making us all better humans?